The Dodgers will have to make a big decision whether they want to pursue a player that is currently on the Yankees, as the Dodgers, of course, are taking on the Yankees in the World Series. And there's now a report that the Dodgers are interested in one of their star players. Hey, this is Mike Nelson of Dodgers Digest. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I want to thank the almost 12% of you that have already subscribed to the channel. We're getting thousands of you now watch these videos. But 88% of you have not hit the subscribe button yet. You know, myself and Brad J are bringing you everyday Dodger content. Of course, we are in the midst of the 2024 World Series, and we're bringing you the biggest storylines. And we're going to be bringing these storylines, hopefully, as the Dodgers, of course, wrap up this season and hopefully win the World Series just 2 wins away, and all throughout the offseason as we get ready for the 2025 year. But we have now a big report. This is coming from John Heyman. John Heyman has reported that the Dodgers will enter the Juan Soto sweepstakes. Of course, Juan Soto is going to be the biggest free agent coming up as the season is going to wrap up this week, and Soto will become a free agent. This is all thanks to Shohei Ohtani's contract. Once again, Ohtani, who of course deferred most of his money, that $700 million contract, most of it is going to be deferred till, for a long time, basically until most likely Ohtani's playing days are over is when he'll get the majority of that money. So that leaves the Dodgers with some cap space. Of course, they're already, of course, paying the luxury tax, but it leaves them a little bit more flexibility to grab some more players and not go too far into the luxury tax threshold. They already, of course, have Glasnow, Freeman, Yamamoto. There's so many players that they're paying for. Kershaw that are, of course, taking up that cap. But now they have the possibility to go after baseball's biggest free agent. Yes, this team could get even better in this offseason. Could you imagine Juan Soto, who's currently playing for the Yankees, the team is playing the Dodgers right now in the World Series, him going from New York to L.A.? Comment below. Do you think Soto would do it? That's a big question. Now, a lot of people say it's not going to happen. There's no way this could happen, right? That Soto wants to play for an East Coast team, but you can't rule it out. I mean, Soto did play for the Padres very recently. He was out here in California, and you can't rule out the possibility of him, potentially thinking about joining, the World Series champion Dodgers, right? I mean, the Dodgers could be world champions when this is all over, and this kind of destination would be absolutely amazing for Juan Soto, right? The Dodgers, of course, the best offense in baseball is, of course, kind of the New York Post. They're the best offense already, and it's probably going to be either them or the Yankees, right? That's basically what it's the consensus, right? It's going to be probably the Yankees or the Dodgers who pick up Soto in the offseason. And they're going to try to make a play if he's interested, right? That's basically the latest report that we're getting. And now John Heyman reporting on this, right? John Heyman, a pretty solid insider, giving us the latest. That's big news, right? And the big decision the Dodgers have to make if they do get some interest from Soto in the upcoming free agency market is the idea of letting go of Teoscar Hernández, right? Hernandez is on a 1-year contract, also an outfielder who's going to want some big money for sure at the end of this season. I mean, think about it. The Dodgers could be winning a World Series, and Hernandez would have a lot to do with that. So he's going to want, he's going to want a payday, right? He's going to want to make some money, to say the least. He's going to want to finally kind of cash in, something he hasn't really done yet in his young MLB career. And the Dodgers are going to have to pay for that, right? They're going to have to pay for Hernandez if they want to keep him. But if they decide to go after Soto, I just don't see how they keep both of them, right? Comment below. Do you think the Dodgers can keep both players on this team? I don't think so. I don't think they'll be able to keep both of them. Even if they move positions, they're trying to, have Soto play DH sometimes when Ohtani is pitching, right? That's a possibility. Ohtani might be pitching. Maybe the Dodgers don't want him hitting the same day he pitches. And Soto could be that option at designated hitter, right? So that's a big possibility there. But what do you think? Do you think the Dodgers can keep both players. I don't think they can. I think they got to decide with one or the other. I really think that's what it's going to come down to. The Dodgers, if they decide to go after Soto, they would be getting a very solid player, right? A solid player, to say the least. Take a look at his 2024 regular season stats with the Yankees this year. 41 home runs, 109 runs batted in, a 419 on-base percentage. And then, of course, already had a home run in the World Series, had 166 hits. Absolutely solid player. He's bounced back, very well since his time in San Diego, which was a disappointment. And that's where I kind of have my doubts about this report, right? Because knowing that Soto struggled with San Diego, is he really going to want to come back to California, right? I mean, the guy had the biggest success of his career with the Washington Nationals, winning the World Series just 5 years ago when he was only 21 years old. Think about that. 21 years old, you win the World Series. That was Juan Soto just 5 years ago. I still remember him playing vividly in Game 5 of that NLDS against the Dodgers, which the Nationals won at Dodger Stadium. I remember that. And I remember seeing Soto playing that night and thinking, wow, what a great player this guy is going to be. And he ended up being that. Of course, won the World Series. And, he has been great ever since. I mean, think about it, his career has just been so short. It feels like Soto's been playing a long time, but it hasn't. He hasn't been playing that long. And going into the offseason, the reports say that Soto is going to be looking for a $500 million contract, right? $400 to $500 million. Let's just say it's going to be $500, right? I mean, especially the Dodgers and Yankees are both in the running for Soto. You can expect it to be at $500 million. Now, does the outcome of this World Series make a difference in Soto's decision, right? I mean, that's a good question, right? If the Yankees lose this series, does that make him want to go join the Dodgers? I think that's something that could also be thought about too, right? I mean, the Yankees don't win this. Does he really want to come back to that team, right? I mean, does he think, well, we made it all the way? Is there any, we really can't go any more farther than this, right? I mean, it could get to that point, right? And he wants to really win another. Now, Soto's already won the World Series, right? He's already won the World Series, so maybe his motivation isn't really winning, like other guys that are like all about just getting that first championship. Soto's already, accomplished that, right? So maybe his philosophy is he just wants to play for a team that he's happy playing for. He wants to live in a place that he wants to live in, and that place, of course, could be New York, right? Very close to Washington, D.C., where, he previously was playing and was happy living there. So I hope that Soto considers the Dodgers. It'd be awesome to see him playing for the Dodgers and, have him off the Yankees. I wouldn't mind that. It would be kind of tough, to sacrifice Teoscar Hernández, but I think if the Dodgers have the opportunity to get Juan Soto, I think they have to take it. Comment if you think otherwise, or comment if you agree with me as well. Make sure to subscribe, and let's go Dodgers.